Today, we are diving deep into someone's life at their absolute financial rock bottom. And look, this isn't just about spreadsheets and numbers. This is a raw, honest story about survival when you were buried under a mountain of debt. Let's get right into it. Just let that sink in for a second. That's a line that just stops you cold, right? It sounds like something out of a movie, some kind of crazy nightmare. But for the person who wrote this, it wasn't a bad dream. It was their actual reality. So let's start with the big, scary number. $177,000. That's the mountain. That's what they were facing every single morning. And then there's the other side of the equation. $118. And that wasn't even in one place. That was spread across 4 different bank accounts. It's not just a gap between debt and cash. It's a massive, terrifying canyon. This right here is what a real financial crisis looks like up close.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth does someone end up in this situation? Let's peel back the curtain a bit and look at exactly where all this debt came from. The scale of it, well, it might just shock you.
Just look at this. We're not talking about 1 or 2 maxed out credit cards. Oh no, this is a problem across more than 10 of them. We're talking over 50 grand to American Express, another 51,000 to Capital One. And here's the key thing to understand. These cards stopped being for emergencies a long time ago. They became the only way to survive. And now, that last line of defense, it's just gone. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, it does. On top of all that credit card debt, there's a personal loan for nearly $17,000. And that interest rate, over 12.5%, man, that is like pouring gasoline on an already raging fire. It means this debt is literally getting bigger and heavier every single day.
Okay, so here's the million-dollar question, or I guess the $177,000 question. How do you even start to pay this off when you don't have a job? The only income is from unemployment and disability checks. You see the problem? It's a perfect financial trap. The obligations are massive, and the income just can't possibly keep up. But you know, anyone who's ever owed even a little bit of money knows it's not just about the math. There's this emotional weight, and it can be absolutely crushing. So let's talk about the human side of this crisis. Can you imagine the feeling of dread just walking to your mailbox every day? The person in our story says the minimum payments were so high that just seeing the envelopes was enough to trigger a wave of anxiety. It's this relentless, non-stop cycle of stress, and it feels like there's no way out. You see, for so long, those credit cards were the safety net. They were the backup plan, the thing that let you sleep at night. But what happens when that net rips? One by one, every card got maxed out. And then, suddenly, there's nothing left, nothing to catch you. It's the feeling of being in a complete financial freefall. This quote from the source just says it all. I honestly feel like I am drowning. And that's exactly what it is. This is the point where financial stress bleeds into a full-blown mental health crisis. It's a constant flood of worry that messes with your sleep, your ability to think straight, and it makes it impossible to even imagine a future. So, okay, when you're at the absolute bottom, what are your options? What can you actually do? Well, our author lays out 3 possible paths forward. It's a crossroads, and believe me, every single choice is life-altering. Let's walk through them.
First up, debt settlement. You've probably seen the ads for these companies promising to work miracles. And yeah, the promise is super tempting. They say they can negotiate with your creditors and lower the total amount you owe. But, and this is a big but, it is risky. Your credit score, it's gonna crash. You could still get sued by the credit card companies. And on top of all that, these settlement companies charge some pretty hefty fees for their services.
All right, option 2. This is the one our narrator is thinking about really seriously. Bankruptcy. Whether it's a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13, the big appeal here is the idea of a clean slate, a real chance to hit the reset button. But there's a major catch. It's a huge blow to your credit, and it stays on your public record for years to come. And finally, option 3, which is to just do nothing. Ignore the calls, throw away the letters, and hope it all goes away. The source is crystal clear on this. This is, without a doubt, the worst possible thing you can do. It's not a solution. It's basically guaranteeing that you're going to face legal action.
So, after staring at the numbers, feeling all the emotions, and looking at the cold, hard reality of each option, the author has a breakthrough. It's this fundamental shift in how they see the whole situation. And honestly, this is the core lesson of the entire story.
And there it is. That's the powerful insight. For so long, the idea of something like bankruptcy felt like admitting you failed. But what they realized is that when you are literally drowning, getting your head back above water isn't failure, it's survival. Just reframing the problem in that way, it changes everything.
And so, with this brand new mindset, a decision is made. The very next step is to actually go and talk to a bankruptcy attorney. It's not a victory lap, not by a long shot, but it's an act of taking back some control. It's making a choice to finally start steering the ship again, instead of just being tossed around in the storm.
And really, this story ends with a message for all of us. It's a plea to anyone who might be in a similar boat. Don't suffer in silence. Get help. And it's a powerful reminder that sometimes the bravest thing you can possibly do is admit you need a fresh start. And it leaves us with a question to think about. Whenever